Okay, so as you can see, the cages are on. That one's not on properly. That'll go on the back of my pickup truck or the bucky. Still that whole thing to load, but we're busy and it looks like it's gonna rain, so we gotta work quickly. Bye! So it's like 10 p.m. What are we doing?
Making vivarium substrates. Look, we're doing mixing things.
And we're supposed to be there at like, we gotta wake up at 4:30 a.m. and we're running low on sleep as is. What we do for the animals. Yo, things are starting to happen. Look at this. Eckhart's doing an amazing job and we can't see, but I'll show you what it looks like. Speaking of
Okay, so apparently I have to remove the snake. Well, not remove, but add the snake to the enclosure. There's a reason
because
for that,
there's a
because
reason.
Bryce is probably thinking I'm gonna get tagged by the snake, so there we go.
That's a big yellow anaconda.
That's a massive anaconda. Oh, and it's heavy, dude. That's a good.
You gotta lift weights.
I'll get tagged today by this size anaconda. I'm probably not gonna enjoy that. What an impressive snake. And she's not that bad.
No, she's chilled.
She's chill, yeah.
But it would have been funny to see.
I wouldn't have.
No, it wouldn't have. Successful first day at the expo. We are busy packing up now. Wow, it was busy. There was no time to film nothing at all. Okay, so after the stressful journey of packing and unpacking these enclosures for the expo, let's switch on this light over here. I need to now add the drainage layer because we took out all the plants that were planted in here for the expo, just because carrying these would be super heavy with all that substrate in there and all that soil. So we have all the enclosures. Obviously we need to make this one nice and biaxial. I think this one's going to be a desert theme setup, but these two will be pretty tropical. I've got my hydro balls, expanded clay, whatever you want to call it, for the drainage layer, and I got to clean that up, put it in here, and then we got to get to planting. So if you came to the expo and saw these setups, you would know they looked fantastic, and I just want to say thank you guys so much to each and every one of you who came and said hi and what's up. And yeah, let's get to that now. So dudes, if you're watching, make sure you ask your mom if you can have permission to use her colander, or your spouse. So do that so you don't get in trouble. Whoa, there we go. The clay balls are a lot heavier now that they're wet. That looks quite nice. Now it's time for the substrate. Yes, water can drain through that. It's not just a plastic top. So first bit of substrate, here we go. Wow, that feels so great. Put it back on. You see, now that I've automated my cages, my dad decided to connect his phone and switches the lights off while I'm busy working. I think I must disconnect his phone from this home automation stuff for my cages. Dudes, it's the fun part. We've got to plant everything up and see how everything goes. It's going to look beautiful. Trust me on that. Here's a challenge. Are you always and like consistently buying new snakes, or thinking of getting new snakes because you just want to fill that void and fill that desire in your soul to like fulfill yourself? Okay, that's a bit arbitrary, but basically what I'm saying is, do you always dream about getting new snakes? Once you get a snake, you're like, oh, I gotta get this one, gotta get a new snake. Well, I know that's the case for many of us out there, so I want to encourage you guys, instead of doing that, oh, this is a long piece of piping, why don't you spend that time and that energy on creating something new? So what do I mean by that? Well, basically what I mean is, create something new and exciting for the animals you already have, and try and upgrade everything to the best of your abilities. Like what I'm doing now, busy cutting up piping for a humidifier that is going to be connected to these two cages behind me. And the reason for that, because I'm going to get a very sensitive species that's going to go in this particular enclosure, and it cannot be wet. It has to be like dry to the touch, but incredibly humid. So how do I do that? I make a plan. I design a whole cage just for the snake, and then I start building it and discovering out, wow, I like these cages more. Let's incorporate this into the whole room, and I'm going to eventually fill out my whole reptile room with these types of cages that I am personally making. So that's fun too. And you can automate things like for the snakes you have. Just have fun with anything. Create stuff and automate it. Like, look at this. Okay, Google, switch off cage light. Look at that! I can check it from anywhere in the world, and the best thing is it's not that expensive. I mean, a normal thermostat costs the exact same amount as this does. Okay Google, switch on cage light. Sometimes my Wi-Fi is a bit slow, so it takes time, but look at that. How cool is that? But what I'm trying to say is try and better the lives of your animals before you even think of getting new animals, new species, because I find for many of us out there, the new animals are just like, it's almost an addiction. You're like, I want something new, I don't have this, it's this one. Then it becomes, oh, I have the rarest one, which is incredibly stupid. So let's work on bettering the care for these beautiful animals we keep. How cool are these cages? So like, check this, what I just did. That's my Google Home speaker. Okay Google, switch on humidifier. And now we go over here, we check and we wait. And can you see that little thing over there? That's the humidity, and as well as over there. Pretty cool. So it can all be controlled wirelessly on my phone and when I walk into the room with Google Home, but also I've got a little humidity sensor that it'll switch on whenever it needs to. So yeah. So like the point of this isn't just because it's cool, it's because it's actually useful. So if I'm away on a herping trip, away for a couple weeks, I can make sure everything is 100% safe and all good in my reptile room. I can even check, are the cages open, are they closed, because there's little sensors on them. And the best thing of all is I don't have to stress as much. Like, look at that, it's just amazing, and it's going to be way better for the animals I keep. So slowly but surely I'm going to be making small improvements that make a big difference. So I'm preparing for breeding season, hence I have my breeding notes over here, and to do that I like taking a lot of data down. So what I'm going to do now, before pairing up the puff adders, I'm going to be breeding a bunch of species: the ball pythons, the roncalls, the puff adders, the anacondas, and there's going to be other ones that you don't know about yet. So let's get this male puff adder out and weigh him so we know his weight before and after, just because it's good to jot down everything. This is more specifically important for the female because we want to see her development as we go on. So let's put this tub down. So this guy's in ambush mode right now. Puff adders are so interesting. There's a lot of studies going on with them and how they actually have zero scent. I mean, elephants can't smell them, meerkats, dogs, sniffer dogs, all of that cannot smell a puff adder. And we don't know why, but we're busy studying that. So the snake is in ambush mode now, and as you can see, it's not reacting to anything I do. You can actually step on puff adders in the wild that are in this mode and they won't do anything. Like there, I'm basically, you can stand on him and he will stay still because he doesn't want to give up his position. That's his most important thing. When puff adders are still and in ambush mode, they are cryptic and they won't be found. Here's 450 grams. So I got to jot that down, make sure I have all the notes. I mean, did you know this is the only species we know of that can both caudal and lingual lure? That means they lure in the prey items with their tongue and tail. So this species is incredibly intelligent. It can tell from a few meters away just by sight alone. Oh, there's a frog, so I'll start using my tongue and lingual lure. Oh, there's a rodent. I will use my tail and start to caudal lure. From like meters away, it's absolutely incredible. So here we have the big female. Let's put her in and weigh her. So the interesting thing I'm going to be trying with her is breeding her out of her season. So different locality puff adders breed at different times of the year. This particular species or this particular locality tends to breed in April, March, April. And I didn't pair them up then because I want to try breed them later in the year, like your Eastern Cape puff adders. Those ones breed like towards springtime, which is about October here in South Africa. It's about 902 grams. I was way off with what I thought. I think it'll be incredibly interesting to see if this different locality will actually breed out of its season that they're supposed to breed. Because even in the same species, these animals from different localities breed in different times, which is absolutely mind-blowing. Look at that, she's beautiful and she's doing fine after she stupidly bit herself a couple weeks ago. She's not got any like ill effects from that, but yeah, she's just a bit grumpy with me, and we'll see as time goes on, and if she is pregnant, we will see the follicular growth and her weight will actually increase. So that's why it's important to take notes of everything. What's the climate, what's the temperatures, how's everything working? Hey girl, no scent, crazy. Okay, so now to weigh the heavy anaconda. I weigh about 58.2 kilos. So now let's stand on the scale and see what this girl weighs. But look at her. She is enormous. Her tail touches the ground there and she's still like gonna touch the roof. She's a big girl and friendly. And no, this is not a Gera. I'm not gonna weigh a Gera yet. The anaconda that you guys know, just because she ate 2 jumbo rats yesterday and this girl hasn't. So now it says 74.2. So let's do some quick maths. That's exactly what? 16 kilograms. That's a heavy anaconda. I don't know if I'm right. I think it's 16 kilos. She's absolutely stunning, and we're gonna be breeding her and a Gera this season. We're gonna have nice yellow anaconda babies. But wow, this is the workout, keeping my arm out like that. So that's a 16 kilogram snake, and it's not that easy to work with her all of the time, but she's a pretty friendly girl, as you can see, which is nice for her size. I mean, if she was mean, that would be an absolute pain in the butt to work with her if she was trying to bite me 24/7, which, as you know, most yellow anacondas like to do. So this was the girl in the couch from like a few weeks ago video. What a snake, eh? What a snake. I know she's not a green anaconda, but she's a yellow and she's so beautiful. Not as beautiful as a Gera, but she's bigger.